In this presentation, we're going to be creating some footnotes, citations, and some various formattings, and we'll also include a header and a footer as well in this assignment. This is assignment Microsoft Word Practice 5. I've got a finished version of the file on screen right now. I'm just going to quickly scroll through it and point a few things out. We do have page numbers at the top, and that's what we're going to use our header for. So as you notice, the page is changing. I've customized it with the name Sophia and the page number right after that. So if I just scroll down here, you can see that each page is numbered like that. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to format all of our text so that we have a first line indent on each paragraph here. We'll be adding some of this text at the top here, and we'll also be including footnotes. Let me find a footnote example here, right here, as indicated by this little number 1. And when you mouse over it, you can actually read what the footnote says. It's also at the bottom of this page, right here, with the little number 1 there, and it's always indicated with a line and then the text. And we'll be formatting the footnote text as well to make it a different size than the regular body copy. Also at the bottom here, you notice a footer. The footer will simply contain the file name. And let's see here, I've got citations as well. Citations are indicated with the brackets here. And if I was to click on it, I could conceivably edit and so on, but the citations are at the bottom of the page. And I've actually made a page break, so we'll be creating a page break, and we'll do a section called Bibliography. And citations are basically referencing the credit where you received the source material for your paper. In this case, it's supposed to be a research paper. So I've got 3 citations down here. I think 2 are from print and 1 is from web. And they are listed here in the bibliography section. And that's something that we can put on page as well. And it'll include new citations in the edit. So that is our finished file. So let me click over to the starter file. Now you should have downloaded the starter file before beginning this exercise. I have it open here now. Let me go over to it. And there is our starter file. Just a lot of text and paragraphs, as you can see here. So let's start by saving our file properly. So let's go over to File. I'm going to go to Save a Copy. And I'm going to go to my OneDrive. Now I can see the pathway here. It's already leading into a folder which I created called Word Practice 5, but let's say I was starting from the top level here. In my OneDrive, I've got my program folder, then my course folder, and again I've created a new folder called Word Practice 5, so you may have to create one like that for yourself. And inside of there is where I'm going to save this file. I have the previous version that I showed you, a saved version, and these are the downloader files, the starter files you should have started with. So I'm just going to rename this up in the top window here, last name, underscore first name, underscore word, underscore practice 5, and click save. And you should do the same. Okay, to begin, I'm just going to set some general spacing elements for the whole page. So I'm going to just click my insert at the beginning of the page here and go on my keyboard and Control A to select all. That's Control A to select all. And go down to my paragraph settings up here and click on that and just call that up. And I'm just going to make sure my spacing is all set to 0. As well as line spacing, I want to set to 1.5 lines. Okay, so spacing 0, 0, line spacing 1.5 lines, and I'm going to click OK. Just going to give it a little more breathing space, and I'm going to save the file. Now I'm going to add some text at the top here. So again, I'll click at the very beginning and hit my Enter key to create a paragraph space. And I'm just going to click above there. Now you may want to turn on your paragraph symbols, if that helps. I'm going to leave mine on for a little while and maybe turn them off afterwards. But I'm clicking in this first blank paragraph, and I'm going to start to type here. Emily, Sophia, return, Dr. Michelle, Carter, return. HTM, uppercase, research, capstone, return. And the date, I'm just going to put June 3rd, comma, 2024, return. And we'll type in what will be sort of the title here, Technology and Your Health. Technology and Your Health. Okay, so I'm going to grab that Technology and Your Health and center that just by highlighting that and clicking on center. And again, I'll save from that point on. And we're going to add a header at this point, so that would be under the Insert tab. And up in header, what I plan to do is create a page number system, if you will. So I'm just going to go Edit Header. And in here, I'll type in Sophia, space, and then over here, I have page numbers. So I'm going to click on there, and I'm just going to click on Current Position, Simple Plain Number. There we go. And I'm good with that. Actually, you know what? Let me justify that to the right. So I'm going to select all of that and click on Home and just align to right. There we go. Now I'm good to go. So I can just double click in the area outside of the header at this point. And I think I'm going to hide my paragraphs as well. Okay, there we go. And just save just to be sure. Okay, so I think I am going to set the indents here. So let's just select all of this text starting with the idea and go all the way down here. And I'm going to scroll back up so I can see the top. And I'm going to go to my paragraph settings once again. So paragraph settings. And I'm just going to go up to special. First line, make sure it's set to 0.5 inches for my first line indent. And click OK. Now I'm going to insert a footer. Go over to Insert, over to Footer, down to Edit Footer. And here we're just going to put our usual document info file name. Okay, and I'll double click out of there to exit the footer editing. And again, I'll just scroll to the top of my page here and save. Now we're ready to add our first footnote. So let me just find a place that makes sense here. And I'm going to go after in the quantify this section after the first sentence where it ends in at self-trackers. So just insert your cursor after that sentence, again, that ends in self-trackers. Now the footnotes are achieved through the References tab. So I'm going to click on References. And over here there's a section called Footnotes. I'm going to go Insert Footnote. And what it does is it adds a little one at the bottom of the page with the cursor flashing so that I can start to type in the actual footnote. It also has the line directly above it. So let's just add as our footnote the Department of Health and Human Services is researching methods to improve healthcare, period. I'm just going to look at this to make sure my spelling is good, and it looks fine here. Once that's done, I'm actually going to select it and just modify it a bit. So selecting that, including the one, I'm going to right click, click on Style, click on Modify, and just change it to a 9 up here. And then under Format, I'm going to choose Paragraph. And we'll go under Special, First Line Indent to 0.5, line spacing double. OK. There we go, and OK, and apply. Now we're ready to add our first citation. A citation is basically giving credit to the source that you're using, in this case in a research paper. So let's just go and put our insert point at the end of this paragraph here under the quantify this. And we'll just insert it here at the end of this paragraph that ends in REM sleep. So I'm just putting my cursor right there. Now we access the citations through the References tab. And over here you can see Insert Citation. Now before I do that, I actually want to set the style to MLA. It's a popular North American standard, MLA 7th edition. Okay. So with my cursor still flashing here, let me click on Insert Citation. And it creates what's called a source. So we're going to go Add New Source. And I'll be filling it in here. And it is a book citation. There are different types under the pull-down menu here. So I'm just going to type this in. So follow me. For the author, it's Robert Henderson. So we put first name second. So Henderson, comma, Robert, last name first. Then I'll come down to the title, which is called Living with Technology. And the year that the book was out was 2016. And the city it was published in is Chicago. And the publisher's name is Grant Publishing. Go back here, Grant Publishing. And the medium is called print. It was printed in a book. Okay, once you've entered all of that information, we can click OK. And what that does, the citation is inside of the parentheses, and when I mouse over it, I can't see it highlighted a bit. If I wanted to edit, I could click on it and click on the little down arrow and edit citation. Edit citation. Under pages, I'm going to add 4. Okay, so I am doing an edit, and I'm adding 4 to the box for pages. And then I'll click OK, and you'll see that represent itself as a little number 4 there. Okay, so let's add another citation. And I think we'll just add it down here in the paragraph that starts, he found that drinking. And I'm going to enter it just after the last word, but before the period. So I'm going to carefully insert my cursor right after the letter E in the word ignore, which is the last word. And once again, we go up to Insert Citation. And you can see the list of current citations. I could repeatedly add it if it made sense, but we are going to add this as a new source. So click Add New Source. All right, so let's enter the name of the author here. It is still a book, by the way, author. And it's 2 authors. And I'll start with the last name, Johnson, space Ralph, space A, period. And then I'll add the second author, and Mary Martin. And then we'll go down to the title. Impact of technology on mental health. Impact of technology on mental health. And we'll go down to the year, and this was published in 2015 in New York City. And the publisher was the IT Press. The IT Press. And the medium, once again, is print. Okay, so once I have all of that input, this becomes a source, and I can click OK. And it is represented down here again inside of the parentheses. So once again, I'm just going to click on it once, hit the little down arrow, edit citation, and I'm going to add 25 under the pages box. 25 and click OK. And let's just save that. Now we're going to add one more citation where we derived the source from the web. So I'm just going to come down here after this paragraph, many of the 250 people. So just find that paragraph end, which ends in the word balance. Insert your cursor right after the word balance and before the period. So once again, while we're still on the References tab, we're going to insert citation. You can see the other 2 here now. Add a new source. And this one's web from the internet, so we're going to scroll down until we find website. And the author for this one is Jones, comma, B dot E, Jones, comma, B dot space E dot. And the name of the web page, NIH 2014 dash April brief. Okay, the year 2017, the month April, the day 29, year accessed 2024, month accessed May, day accessed 30th, and the medium web. Okay, so once those boxes are all completed, we'll create this new source referring to a website. Click OK. And again, there it is right there. All right, now we have all of those as sources, but I'd like to actually print them on the page under Bibliography. So let's go right to the end of our document. And just click at the end and click Return or Enter. And we're going to do what's called a page break, which will actually end this page here, and we'll start the next information on the next page fresh. So that is under Layout, under Breaks, Page Break. And you'll see it advances us to the next page right here. Now on this new page, I'm just going to go back to my home here and set the paragraph settings. And I want to make sure my spacing is set to 0 and my indent is also set to 0. So I'm going to click that to none. And we can leave the rest okay here. All right. So I want to start with the title called Bibliography. So I'm just going to type that out. And I'd like to style that, so I'm going to select it. And I'm going to go up to my fonts. And we're going to choose Arial Black. So they're alphabetical here. So Arial Black. And we'll make that 14. And let's change the color officially to black text 1. And center it. Okay, so I'm just going to click at the end here and hit my return or my enter key. And here I actually want to insert what's called the bibliography, which is all of those sources that we were inputting for our citations. So that's under references. So I'm going to click over on references here. And we have under citations and bibliography right down the middle here, a little arrow under bibliography. Just click at the bottom, insert bibliography. And there you have it. Now if you want to style that, you could select it, but I'm just going to leave it as is. But I do want to show you if I was to update any of this information, you actually have to do an update. So let's go back up to Manage Sources. I'm going to change this name from Henderson to Benderson. So let's go up to Manage Sources. That's where you would make such a change. And you can see them listed up here. Okay, so click on Henderson in the master list, click Edit. And let's just change that H to a B. Capital B. Click OK. Click Yes to update, and then click Close. And to actually see it updated on the page, you do need to select it. So I'm going to select all of this group here. Right-click it, and we have something called Update Field. And if I click away, you can see that H changed to a B. And that's pretty well how you can put the bibliography on the page that's already created as various sources, in this case citations. Now to complete this file before handing it in, I'm going to get you to go back to the File menu, which is also known as the Backstage area, and click on Info. And I'm going to have you input some information in here. So add a title. The title should be Technology and Health. Technology and Health. And then under the tags, put Technology, comma, Research Paper. Okay, Technology, comma, Research Paper. And then under Comments, Draft of Class Report. Draft of class report. Under author, just add your last name. Comma, first name. Hit your return key or your enter key to submit that. And once you've done that, you may hand that in to Canvas. Now, before I complete this, I just want to show you a couple of other things. Number one, I want to show you how to save this as a PDF file. It's quite simple, but while we're here in the backstage, let me just show you that. Right down here, save as Adobe PDF. So I'll do one just to demonstrate it. It calls it up and it just asks me where I want to save it, and I do want to save it in my Word Practice folder. I just have to click Save. And now I have a PDF getting generated. And it's conceivable that I could open that PDF up in Word again. And I'm just waiting for this to convert and save. Once that has converted, it may pop up as a new PDF file. I'm just going to close that right now. But just to confirm, let's just go out to our File Explorer. And I'll just go up to my OneDrive here. We'll go back into our project folder, Practice 5, and there's the PDF file. Now, to be clear, I want you to hand in your Microsoft Word document on Canvas when you complete this exercise. And just a little above and beyond thing I'm going to share with you right now is if you want to do a search within your document, I'm just going to go to View, and we'll go to Read Mode. And under Tools, you can go Find, and you get a little navigation here, and I'm just going to type in Benderson. And it shows up highlighted in the document as well as all instances of it in a list here. So that's kind of cool if you're doing a search within, especially a long document. Just go to the read mode and do a search. And you can see here how they're all highlighted as I go through. Okay. I'm just going to close this little navigation window and click my view and go back to Edit Document. So there you have it. A nice way to search your document as well. So again, once you've completed this file, hand it into Canvas under Word Practice 5.